a standalone policy for inclusive education still doesn't exist. Facilities ही नहीं है उनके पास, मतलब ceiling fans नहीं है उनके पास, basic washrooms नहीं है. 150 students होते हैं. So lack of awareness is the first challenge, and then lack of empathy is the next. पाकिस्तान के पास budget नहीं है, पाकिस्तान के पास resources नहीं है. Why can a woman not be doctor?
Why are so many children still slipping through the cracks in our classrooms? And what would it take to finally build learning spaces where every child belongs? Today, we are diving deep into inclusive education with someone who's been on the front lines for more than 15 years. Rana Zafar, development expert, Australia Award scholar, and technical advisor on inclusion, joins us to unpack what's broken, what's possible, and how we can actually fix the system. This one's going to shift perspectives big time. Assalamu alaikum, Rana. How are you?
Walaikum salam. I'm perfectly fine.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It is a privilege. Rana, we'll start with what was education for you like in your childhood? Where did you start? And what was the schooling like?
So I have always been one of those kids. I was one of those kids who used to love going to school. Now that I am in education sector, I've realized that there are different kinds of kids and not everybody loves going to school. And I guess that was because I belonged to that identity group that was privileged, right? I was a confident kid. I was a high performer, so teachers used to like me. So learning was fun. Education for me was an enjoyable experience. So that is what education was for me, though I do realize that is not everybody's experience.
Yeah. That's my next question, that when did you realize that what you had was a privilege, but the world out there is more scarier than that?
Yeah, I guess when I started working in this sector, as first, of course, as somebody who was just observing things from a periphery, but then when I took a deep dive in and I got into teacher training, I got to visit schools in different parts of Pakistan, seeing how, under-resourced schools look like, and then sort of the contrast that presented, with the schools in urban areas, the private schools. Yeah. So the reality of it all hit me. And that's when I realized that education is not necessarily a fun experience for everyone.
Yeah. So Rana, aapka jo kaam hai, it is very distinct still in Pakistan. You are working in a domain that is still alienated for some people. So बहुत late man trumps में just explain the audience what is inclusivity means in education.
I think, okay, before I address the context of education, I think I would like to tell you what inclusion really means, because I think the concept, I also understood that concept in its truest form just recently, very recently. And what I have come to realize now is that inclusion, the concept of inclusion goes way beyond access. You can have access to a space, to an environment, to a social circle, to a room, and yet you can feel like you don't belong, right? So it all circles back to the sense of belonging. If you feel like you belong, that's when you feel included. You need to feel heard, seen, understood, appreciated. You need to feel that sense of psychological safety to speak up and not be in this fear that you would be dismissed or made fun of or ignored even, right? So it is about feeling valued for who you are. And that is inclusion to me. So when you apply all of this to an educational context, when you apply all of that to a classroom, you can imagine that that's not necessarily happening for every student in our classrooms. And I can take a deep dive into what inclusive education means if you want me to.
Yeah. Do tell us ke, in Pakistani context, what our ideal classroom with that looks like.
Okay, so just backtracking a little bit. See, the movement of inclusive education can be seen from two different angles. One angle is when we think about those societal norms
Yeah.
and practices that are by default exclusionary. So, for example, when different identity groups are not equally welcome at school.
Okay.
In the context of Pakistan, that can be girls in rural areas, that can be certain ethnic or religious minority children, that can be children with disabilities.
Yeah.
And when I say not equally welcome, sometimes it means denied access.
Yeah.
But sometimes, even when you're not denied access, the treatment that you receive in a school is not necessarily the same, right? So everyone's experience is then different. So this angle of inclusive education then addresses the point of bringing out of school children into the schools, or addresses the point of mainstreaming children with disabilities into mainstream regular classrooms. The other angle is when, okay, so now you've been able to achieve non-discriminatory admission policies, and let's say we welcome everybody into our schools and classrooms. That's an achievement, one goal achieved. But now, in a classroom that is diverse, that has students with all kinds of socioeconomic backgrounds, students who come from stable homes and students who come from toxic homes, students who have loving parents, and then students who face neglect and abuse at home, children with seen disabilities and then unseen disabilities that no one knows about, right? Autism, ADHD. So now the pedagogy of it comes into action, right?
Yeah.
What are those teaching practices and teaching strategies which can be inclusive or exclusionary, right? They can be exclusionary. The prevailing norm has been that high performing students would rise to the top.
Yeah.
They would respond to a single set of teaching methods. Those methods would most likely be teacher-centric.
Yes.
So teachers would just decide how they feel comfortable in teaching rather than giving thought to how students are learning. Then आपके जो assessment processes हैं, those are rigid and they expect children to adhere to a single standard. So then by default, you're creating an environment and by spillover a society where some children are bound to be left behind, right?
Yeah.
If they learn differently, if they test differently, if they express differently. For example, if they do not speak the language of instruction at home, right? So when you think about these things, that's when you realize that creating inclusive learning spaces is really important. And then by definition, I think it would be safe to say that the current, the status quo education does not allow all children to participate equally.
Yeah.
And then by definition, inclusive education system is a system that ensures that all children, irrespective of their abilities or disabilities, irrespective of their background or circumstances, are accepted and can learn and thrive together. So the keywords here are learn and thrive. Learn covers the academic part of it, and thrive is where you're taking care of their socio-emotional development. And together is where you're creating that enriching diversity in the same classroom.
That's beautiful. So, Rana, जब हम normally भी कोई program run करते हैं, which is as basic as it could be, still we face a lot of diverse type of implementation hurdles. Those challenges often stop us in executing the program effectively. And your domain is still something people are discovering now.
Yes.
So your challenges, I know for a fact that would have been very difficult for you to take this on field and even to the policy making table.
Mhm.
So do tell me, when you list down your challenges for inclusive education, what comes at the first most things and the things below that?
अच्छा ओके, जब लोग चैलेंजेस की बात करते हैं ना तो आई थिंक लोगों के जहन में पहले होता है कि सबसे पहले आता है कि ओ पाकिस्तान के पास बजट नहीं है, पाकिस्तान के पास रिसोर्सेज नहीं है, हम गवर्नमेंट के जो स्कूल्स हैं, हमारे पब्लिक एजुकेशन सेक्टर है, इसको हम रिसोर्स कैसे करें. बट what I have discovered in my experience, my top 3, I think the topmost challenge in implementation of inclusive education is the awareness.
Yeah.
And I think the second second place would go to empathy. So lack of awareness is the first challenge, and then lack of empathy is the next. जब आपके ये माइंडसेट और ये बिहेवियरल और एटीट्यूडनल चीज़ें एड्रेस हो जाती हैं ना, उसके बाद आपकी रिसोर्सेज और ट्रेनिंग एंड स्किलिंग और ये सब कुछ आता है, बिकॉज यू कैन give all the skills and tools and strategies to a person, and if that person is not aware of how diverse learning styles exist in a classroom and how every child learns differently, तो उसको जब वो awareness नहीं है तो वो empathy भी नहीं आएगी. If a person does not care about his or her students, तो आप उसको कितनी भी training दे दें, वो inclusive learning environment नहीं create कर पाएगा. So lack of awareness, lack of empathy, and then I think teacher training would be the third one. There's so many, but if I have to give you top 3, it would be these 3.
So जब हम teacher training की बात करते हैं, the capacity building of a teacher, do you think कि पॉलिसी के और रिसोर्स के लेंस से जब हम उसको देखें, सो देयर इज ऑब्वियसली अ लैक, और डू यू थिंक कि हम अभी तक उसको इतना हाईलाइट नहीं कर सके, एंड जब हम उसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने के फेज में भी आएंगे, सो वहाँ पर टीचर्स की तरफ से भी थोड़ा बैकलैश आ सकता है, बिकॉज वी नीड अ सर्टेन टाइप ऑफ टीचर्स फॉर दैट. दे आर ऑलरेडी ओवरबर्न्ड, स्कूल्स में शॉर्टेज है टीचर्स की, बेसिक मतलब पब्लिक स्कूल्स में जब हम बात करें, बिकॉज हमारी मैथ्स ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स उधर ही जा रहे हैं, सो टीचर्स के पास पहले ही कोर सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ाने का सिंपल पैडागोजी के साथ टाइम नहीं है. सो व्हेन यू से देम कि हम इसको और इंक्लूसिव बना रहे हैं, सो आई डोंट थिंक सो दे आर रेडी फॉर इट. सो व्हाट आर यू डूइंग फॉर दैट?
अच्छा, what am I doing for that? तो थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है, but like I agree. I think it's a very valid concern. Teachers definitely. I have, through the different donor projects that I've worked with, I have visited schools in highly rural and underprivileged areas. So I have seen that they have these challenges. उनके पास basic facilities ही नहीं है, उनके पास मतलब सीलिंग फैंस नहीं है, उनके पास बेसिक वॉशरूम्स नहीं है, तो ये चीज़ें डेफिनेटली इम्पैक्ट तो करती हैं. बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आई गेस दोज teachers who truly have the motivation to upskill themselves and to also, invest in creating a culture of safety and learning for the children. So I would like to share an experience of mine.
Sure,
I went to this, so when I was going to different areas, I met all sorts of people. I met people who were just interested in taking pictures with the donor team, right? So they wanted to be front and center. So आपको उस तरह के लोग भी मिलेंगे education sector में. But then there was a very young school head of a very rural Sindh school. Young सा था, I think late 20s में होगा, and he did not. I mean, he didn't have the exposure that we had. He didn't. He hadn't received any training, but he, as a person, was so invested in creating a lovely environment for his students. The way his students were connecting with him showed that he cared for his students, and the way he would speak about it, different students coming from unstable homes and how his eyes were welling up. So it really it gave me hope that there are people in our education sector
Yeah.
who truly are invested in improving the learning
Yeah.
outcomes of our upcoming generations. And we have to find those people and then we really have to invest in
Yeah.
those people. But like, I think even अगर उस लेवल की इंक्लूसिव और इन्वेस्टेड पर्सनालिटी ना भी हो, तो जब आप लोगों को स्किल्स देते हैं, जब आप लोगों को इक्विप करते हैं टूल्स के साथ, तो they learn how to do things, and then the burden automatically lessens. Of course, the government has to step up
Yeah.
to make sure that they have the basic necessities, that they're not overburdened, so that वो चीज़ जो frustration में translate होती है, वो उनकी empathy में translate हो. But yeah.
So have you ever came across someone, just a teacher or an educator, जिसने खुद अपने classroom के अंदर ये identify किया हो that I need something different for this class? There are people with different type of students with different type of needs.
I have to tell you, this is not rare. Many people, like the example that I was just giving you of that school head,
Yeah.
and in government structures, in the government school, the school head sometimes has to teach as well. So there are people who think beyond just their job description, and they do recognize the diverse needs. It's just that they don't know what to do about it. They have not received the training that will train them, on how to meet these diverse needs, and that is what universal design of learning is for. That's a framework that equips teachers to to meet those needs. So there are many. I've come across many cases in my work.
Yeah, building on UDL, like you mentioned. So do tell us. I feel like it's a tool, and I'm listening it for the first time that there is something like UDL that helps teacher design something for all types of learning. So explain that a bit.
Acha, okay. So universal design of learning, basically, the concept came from universal design of architecture.
Oh.
Okay, so it was UDA, and then it was adapted in education. I would like to explain through a metaphor, if you're okay with that.
Sure, go
Okay,
ahead.
so imagine that there's a mall, and imagine that it has two ways of, two entrances. One is via stairs, and then another is via ramp. Right?
Yeah.
So why don't you tell me कि stairs वाली entrance से कौन benefit करेगा?
Someone who is able to walk.
So somebody who's able to climb up the stairs. So, so all those people who do not have any mobility issues, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Ramp वाली entrance से कौन benefit करेगा?
Someone with a wheelchair, I suppose.
Yeah, so I think somebody who's using a wheelchair. That's one. Can you think of somebody else?
I don't know. I can
Maybe a mom who has a
stroller.
who has a stroller.
Exactly.
So ये एक और आपके पास identity group आ गया. So it would be easy for her to. Anybody else that comes to your mind? How about young toddlers who are learning to walk? So they might be able to go up the ramp, but they might stumble on stairs.
Yeah.
How about elderly?
Yeah,
right.
It will be easier for them.
It will be easier for them to go up the ramp, holding the railing. Some elderly have sticks, walking sticks with them, right? Climbing up stairs, we know, is slightly difficult for elderly. Can we think of someone else?
I guess pregnant women.
Yes, pregnant women. Yeah. Maybe a blind person who's carrying a stick, right?
Sure.
So, if अगर हमारे पास 100 रुपए हैं, और हमें कहा जाता है कि एक ही तरीके की एंट्रेंस हम बना सकते हैं, तो आप क्या करेंगे? आप सीढ़ियां बनाएंगे या आप रैंप बनाएंगे?
लॉजिक टेल्स मी कि आप रैंप बनाएंगे.
Exactly. So that is UDL. It does not cater to one identity group. It caters to everyone. So when people say कि अच्छा already जो simple pedagogy है वो ही हमारे teachers को नहीं आती, तो हम अब additional उनको inclusive education
No.
आप उनको सिर्फ ये सिखा दें तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली
Degree.
अपनी क्लासरूम के अंदर जितने
Yeah.
स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनकी देयर वुड बी प्रोबेबिलिटी, जाहिर सी बात है, देखें बहुत सारे डिफरेंट डिसेबिलिटीज होती हैं और डेफिनेटली कुछ ऐसे सिवियर स्पेक्ट्रम पे होती हैं
बिल्कुल.
जहाँ उनको स्पेशल या स्पेशलाइज्ड सर्विसेज या एडिशनल सपोर्ट चाहिए होती है. बट व्हेन यू इक्विप all teachers, imagine if you equip all teachers with how to teach the UDL way, you're going to increase the probability of more needs met.
Yeah.
जो हमारा status quo education system है वो सिर्फ एक बिल्कुल सही तरीके से चलने वाले वो सीढ़ियां हैं. हमारा currently education system सीढ़ियां हैं और हम कह रहे हैं कि आप रैंप बना दें, आप फर्दर जो बजट अपना इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं वो आप इस चीज पे इन्वेस्ट कर लें. सो when you talked about policy gaps, and I said teacher training is one of them.
Yeah.
We already have infrastructures, we already have government machinery, we have teacher training institutes. हमारे पास इतने बड़े बड़े education departments हैं और उनकी already schedules of trainings designed हैं. सिर्फ pre-service teacher में अगर आप inclusive education की और UDL की trainings डाल देंगे, when people are learning how to be teachers.
Yeah.
So that they land in classrooms after receiving that training, right? So you're going to be addressing a lot of challenges.
Question comes in my mind. Do tell me if I'm wrong. So where do you see the role of special schools in inclusive education?
Yeah. So I think globally bhi the education settings have evolved, and we started off with exclusion, then we moved to segregation, then we moved to integration, and this image really very clearly explains what an exclusionary system is and then what is an inclusive system. तो जो आपका स्पेशल एजुकेशन स्कूल्स हैं, आपका पूरा स्पेशल एजुकेशन विंग है आपके गवर्नमेंट में, एंड वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड इट केम इनटू बीइंग और लाइक इट स्टार्टेड एग्जिस्टिंग इन 1980s व्हेन ज़ियाउल हक जो आपके प्रेसिडेंट हैं, ही हिमसेल्फ हैड अ डॉटर विद डिसेबिलिटी, राइट? सो ही lived that experience. He was a parent of a child with disability. उस वक्त जाहिर सी बात है इतना evolve नहीं हुई थी thinking around education. And I think the best that the state could come up with was special education systems and special education institutes. But ideally, we have to understand that many of the children who are being catered to in the special education systems can very easily be mainstreamed. You know, Down syndrome kids can be mainstreamed if they're not on a very severe spectrum, ADHD, autism, dyslexia, dysgraphia. जब तक आपकी cognitive function is there, those children can be mainstreamed in classrooms. And this belief कि जो normal बच्चे हैं, again this is not right language that I'm using, but जो हमारी society में use होती है कि जो normal बच्चे हैं, अगर वो children with disabilities के साथ पढ़ेंगे तो उनकी learning कहीं slow ना हो जाए, वो उनकी pace, जबकि we have to understand that जो डाइवर्सिटी जिस तरीके से एक स्पेस को एनरिच करती है उस तरीके से कोई भी नहीं करती. सो स्पेशल एजुकेशन स्कूल्स शुड कंटिन्यू टू एग्जिस्ट एंड मे बी केटर टू द more severe cases. And then yes, one exception to inclusive education is people who are hearing impaired. Because education आप किस तरह देते हैं, इंस्ट्रक्शन आप किस तरह देते हैं स्टूडेंट्स को, थ्रू अ लैंग्वेज. तो उनकी लैंग्वेज डिफरेंट है. जब पीपल हु आर डेफ और वर हियरिंग इम्पेयर्ड, उनकी साइन लैंग्वेज है. सो देन दे कैन नॉट बी मेन स्ट्रीम्ड इन रेगुलर स्कूल्स जहाँ पे कोई और लैंग्वेज हो रही है. वहाँ पे उनकी साइन लैंग्वेज में विद टीचर्स हु कैन स्पीक दैट साइन लैंग्वेज. सो दैट इज एन एक्सेप्शन. सो स्पेशल एजुकेशन स्कूल्स should continue to exist, but children who can be mainstreamed should be mainstreamed.
So Rana, we are trying here कि हम थोड़ा सा reimagine करें अपनी classrooms को and teachers की जो training है और उनकी जो capacity building है उसको हम थोड़ा सा देखें कि हम उसको कैसे inclusive education friendly बना सकते हैं. So if I urge you कि आप 3 कोई टॉप स्किल्स बताएं जो हमारे एजुकेटर्स या टीचर्स इस वक्त हमें सुन रहे हैं कि इफ दे लैक द ट्रेनिंग बट व्हाट दे कैन डू फॉरेन से जो उनको हेल्प करेगी थोड़ा सा क्लासरूम को इंक्लूसिव बनाने में.
Okay, it's a very nuanced, and this question's supposed to have a very nuanced answer. But yeah, I think पहले भी मैंने कहा awareness around diverse learning styles. So अगर एक teacher aware होगी कि children in my classroom can learn visually, can learn, can be auditory learners, can learn through reading and writing, or can be kinesthetic learners. Kinesthetic learners are those learners who learn through movement or simulation or hands-on exercises or practices or experiments. तो हर कोई differently सीखता है या कोई बच्चे थ्रू अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑल दीज भी सीखते हैं. सो जब आपको ये अवेयरनेस होगी एक टीचर को, या फिर आप ये देखिए कि किसी के हो सकता है कि विजन जो है इम्पेयर्ड हो और उसको ब्लैक बोर्ड से इतना नजर नहीं आ रहा और टीचर कह रही है कि आप ये पढ़ें और वो बच्चा नहीं पढ़ पा रहा और आप समझ रहे हैं कि या तो वो बच्चा इंडिग्नेंट हो रहा है या वो बदतमीजी कर रहा है या वो नालायक है. तो गिविंग every child grace and believing intrinsically that कोई जानबूझ के बच्चे ऐसा नहीं करे, that awareness around diverse learning styles really brings in that empathy. तो teachers अगर अपने अंदर ये ले आए ना तो automatically वो फ्रस्ट्रेट नहीं होंगे. ठीक है, ऑटोमेटिकली वो उनके अंदर वो एक एम्पैथी आ जाएगी. तो आई थिंक अवेयरनेस हैज टू बी द टॉप. देन अ गुड टीचर is always self-reflective. The teachers need to ask these questions from themselves after every lesson. How did I perform today? In my class, did students learn? Did students learn? How many of them learned? Did all of them learn? Okay. If I think 20% learned and 80% are still not there, why are they not there yet? और वो ये ना सोचे कि वो तो है ही ना लायक इसलिए they're not there. Self reflect करें कि how can I teach differently ताकि वो बाकी 80% भी learn करें. So, and I'll tell you how children learn more through participation rather than by passive listening, right? For example, in a normal conventional classroom, what happens is that a teacher would call upon a student and ask a question, say, what is the capital of Pakistan, right? And most likely, she would call upon a student who is confident enough to raise their hand, or most likely a boy if you're in a rural area, and that child would answer, and the teacher would assume that because everybody has heard the answer, she has taught that particular thing. Now, another way to teach is that, okay, children, what is the capital of Pakistan? Okay, so why don't you all pair up and give yourselves 5 seconds to discuss? And then she calls upon a few people, 4 to 5. What has happened in this particular strategy, which is called Think, Pair, Share, is that all students have participated. All students have discussed it. All students have thought about it, right? In that setting, some students might be thinking about something else. Some have passively listened, might not have registered. So when we talk about UDL, this is how UDL delivers the very same curriculum, but in ways where you're ensuring, if not 100%, a lot more participation than the conventional methodologies. So we were talking about
the three
skills, right? So teachers should just keep this in mind, that they have to ensure that all students are participating. Participation is important. And then I was talking about self-reflection, how you need to reflect on how your lesson is being delivered, and then also, keep a tab on where your students are coming from. Are there any students in your class coming from marginalized sections of population? Are they excluded in any way? Think about, any student that might have felt excluded in your class, and it's okay. nobody's perfect. A class cannot always go the way you think, right? And it is not always possible to focus on one child's needs when you have like 30 students or 40 students, or if we go into the public sector classrooms, then 60 students at a time. Just think about how I can do the repair. Repair is extremely important. Repair is important in all sorts of therapy, healing work as well. So what you can do tomorrow to make sure that that same child is somehow included. Just by mindfulness and thoughtfulness and empathy, the same moments of exclusion can be turned into opportunities of participation. So again, if 3 skills would be awareness, empathy and self-reflection for teachers.
And एक चीज मेरे दिमाग में फौरन से आ रही है, is that के also parental involvement.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
Teacher needs to connect with the parents more.
Yes.
Yeah, the teacher ko, it is humanly possible that she forgets some things. And, a slight note from a teacher in the school home जो बताए कि if your child needs some extra attention, do let me know. If he's not feeling, I remember कि मेरी बेटी के स्कूल से एक दफा एक नोट आया, which was an initiative कि अगर सुबह सुबह आपका बच्चा is not happy and उसको कुछ special care की जरूरत है, special love की जरूरत है, so there's a sign said, or just make a star on her hand and send her to school. So that's where teacher knows that she's not feeling, she's been under the weather. So something like that जो बच्चे को थोड़ा सा exclusive भी ना feel कराए, teachers parents को more involved करे, because those practices needs a follow up in the home as well.
Parent involvement की बात करके तो आपने एक पूरा, there's this entire field that needs to be I think इसके ऊपर एक और पूरा session होना चाहिए, because there's this triangle that I'm sure you must be aware about, that students, teachers and parents, right? So parent engagement, and I actually have worked as a parent engagement expert with a US-based edtech startup as well. So it is extremely important for parents to be informed, to be aware, and to be fully engaged with what's happening with their children's education. And I think if you've received that note, then you are very lucky, that your child is very lucky to have a mindful teacher. I remember that I'm a very involved parent, and I think मुझे कभी-कभार लगता है कि स्कूल मुझसे तंग ही आ जाता है, teachers मुझसे तंग ही आ जाते हैं. I'm not confrontational, I'm not patronizing, but I am so
want to be a part of it.
Yes, I'm so involved. I'm always asking things and I'm always telling things. So इसी तरह I think one thing एक चीज जो मुझसे मिस हो रही थी अपनी बेटी के बारे में, that was sleep. She was not getting enough sleep during the night, right? She wasn't going to bed on time, and समझ नहीं आ रही थी कि कहाँ से ये mood swings आ रहे हैं and all. And I think that is what the school helped me with this. I knew that sleep is important, but yet there's so many other things that are also important that sometimes you tend to ignore a very important aspect. And the school reminded me how important it is and how it impacts her entire day. So yes, I think teachers should make an additional effort to keep parents engaged. I completely agree with that.
So जब भी हम when we are going in a new domain, so it takes time, it takes years. आपको कभी-कभी decades भी लग जाते हैं to bring a certain change. But what's the first step? What we can do preemptively also is that leverage what already exists.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what type of administration or policies in Pakistani education landscapes already exists that inclusive education can leverage?
Okay. So I would say that the government education departments, and I've worked with some, I think they're very open now. They're very open to new ideas. A standalone policy for inclusive education still doesn't exist. But again, there are many policies that do exist, and still the implementation is not done. They fall short of implementation. So even if the policies are not there, I see that there are many initiatives that are being taken when the government receives new information from donors, they are willing to act on it. So I think we should really focus on collaborating with the government and giving them a clear guideline on what can have the most impact. What already exists, like I talked about this earlier as well, are the teacher training institutes. There we have infrastructure that's available. We have master trainers that are already appointed by the government. We have pre-service training schedules, and we have in-service training schedules. We have professional development institutes within these government structures. So we really need to just somehow collaborate with the government to leverage those existing teacher training institutes and add some of these trainings as part of the already existing curriculum or already existing list of trainings. I think that is what I see as something that's possible as well. Something that the government, education government departments were open to as well.
Yeah.
If the funding had continued and if some of the projects had continued.
Okay. So Rana, there's a segment where we discuss the myths around a certain topics. And before I start with my list, I would like कि अगर आपकी कोई list है related to myths around inclusive education, do share that.
Well, yeah, there are a lot of myths around inclusive education. I think the biggest one is that whenever people hear this term inclusive education, they think it has to do something with children with disabilities.
Yeah.
And I think I've made it clear that there's so many identity groups that we are catering to, that we have to keep in mind when we're thinking about inclusive education. So it is not it. Children with disabilities is just one identity group, and then we have to make sure that we're not just thinking about children with seen disabilities. अभी भी जब disability की भी बात होती है तो आपके जहन में एक wheelchair के image आता है या कोई blind person का image आता है या कुछ. Let me tell you that these physical or mobility impairments constitute a very small minority of prevalent disabilities. And I will show you a graph, right? This graph basically explains कि जो आपकी unseen disabilities हैं, उनकी prevalence बहुत ज़्यादा है. So अगर एक कमरे में 100 लोग हैं, for example, उसमें से कुछ 3 लोग होंगे जिनको कोई मोबिलिटी के या फिजिकल इश्यूज होंगे. उसमें आपके पास मेरे ख्याल से कोई 50 से ज़्यादा लोग होंगे जो किसी ना किसी अनसीन डिसेबिलिटी के स्पेक्ट्रम पे होंगे. सो दैट इज़ द प्रेवलेंस of unseen disabilities. So yeah, that is one myth. And then another myth around inclusive education is that it requires expensive resources. I think I have explained that through metaphors and other things. The materials that you need. So when I talked about kinesthetic learners, right? You don't have to have fancy materials. You can use locally resourced materials. आपने अगर बच्चों को 2+2 4 सिखाना है, आप बॉटल कैप्स भी रख सकते हैं, आप ट्विग्स भी रख सकते हैं, आप स्टोन्स भी रख सकते हैं, आप पेंसिल से भी वो चीज़ अगर आपने उनको कुछ फील करा के उनको हैंड्स ऑन या सिमुलेशन के कुछ. So it does not require. And UDL is something that can be applied in low resource, low cost, no cost settings. So it does not require. Then another myth is that it is too hard to implement inclusive education in large classrooms. So just the example that I gave you about how strategies like think, pair, share or groupings can be utilized to cater to large classrooms. पब्लिक सेक्टर एजुकेशन में आप कहीं भी चले जाएं लार्ज क्लासरूम्स ही होंगी. आप और अंडर डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज में भी देखें, अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज में भी देखें, यहाँ तो फिर भी आई थिंक 60 या 40 आपका क्लास स्ट्रेंथ है, वहाँ पे 180 150 स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं. एंड देन मोटिवेटेड टीचर्स आर स्टिल एबल to achieve learning outcomes for children. So these
Yeah.
are the 3 myths that I'm aware about.
Okay. So one I'm gonna share is that people often think, and there's a fear that if we use inclusive classrooms, it will tear down the quality of the classroom.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't know. I can go on and on about how diversity enriches a particular space. How
Yeah.
when you learn from different people, interact with people from different backgrounds and different lived experiences, how that enriches your own life experience. I think as
Very
adults,
true.
we definitely, as an adult, I'm learning that. But imagine if we raise our upcoming generations in those diverse settings. हमारे पास कितने empathetic
बच्चे
सोसाइटी,
होंगे,
इतने
yeah.
एम्पैथेटिक बच्चे आएंगे जिससे कितनी एम्पैथेटिक सोसाइटी होगी. अब इमेजिन करें कि अगर आपके पास एक सीवी आती है और उसमें सीवी में जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन के हिसाब से उस कैंडिडेट की सारी पूरी हो रही क्वालिफिकेशंस, बट दैट कैंडिडेट हैज डिस्क्लोज्ड दैट ही इज ऑटिस्टिक.
Yeah.
तो हमें जिस तरीके से बड़ा किया गया है और हम जिन एजुकेशन सेटिंग्स में बड़े हुए हैं, हमारे एकदम से गार्ड ऑन हो जाता है कि ओ,
Yeah.
अगर इसको ऑटिज्म है तो फिर पता नहीं क्या चैलेंजेस होंगे और पता नहीं परफॉर्मेंस और ये और वो. इसलिए क्योंकि हमें या तो ज़्यादा अवेयरनेस नहीं है ऑटिज्म की, या फिर हमने जो
Exactly.
केसेस देखे हैं हमने उनको सही तरीके से समझा नहीं है. और हमारे साथ ऑटिस्टिक बच्चे पढ़े भी तो नहीं हैं, या अगर कुछ लेवल तक पढ़े हैं तो उसके बाद उन्हें सिक्लूड कर दिया गया या सेग्रीगेट कर दिया गया है, जिसकी वजह से हमारे अंदर
Yeah.
एक फियर भी है और वो एक उस तरीके से एक्सेप्टेंस भी नहीं है. जो बच्चे डाइवर्स क्लासरूम्स में बड़े होंगे वो एक बच्चे को सिर्फ उसकी ऑटिज्म से नहीं जानेंगे, जो उसकी दूसरी पर्सनालिटी के फॉसेट्स हैं, जो उसकी स्ट्रेंथ्स हैं. अगर वो कहीं स्ट्रगल करता है तो कहीं वो बहुत एक्सेप्शनल होगा
हो जाता है,
और वो
exactly.
बाकियों से ज़्यादा एक्सेप्शनल होगा,
Yeah.
राइट? तो हमें पता होगा कि अच्छा इस पर्टिकुलर टास्क के लिए that is the best person. And probably because he has autism, because उसकी वो जो senses हैं वो sharpen हो गई हैं, उसकी attention to detail शायद
Yeah.
बहुत ज़बरदस्त है जो कि बाकियों की नहीं है. फिर जब ये सारी सोसाइटी बड़ी होगी तो आप देखें कि आपकी वर्क प्लेसेस ऑटोमेटिकली इंक्लूसिव हो जाएंगी. आप लोग मतलब ये फियर जो है इट इज़ कम्प्लीटली अ मिथ. आई मीन आई हैव वर्कड विद प्राइवेट स्कूल्स and I'll give you a very short example. So I was working with this principal who, by the way, has 25 years plus of experience of running and heading schools. And she told me कि आप vision, mission, goals वगैरह कुछ draft करते हैं. And I was there as a teacher trainer. मैंने कहा okay fine. So of course I'm an inclusive education person. तो मेरा तो हर जगह inclusion और तुम ये हर जगह inclusive क्यों ले आती हो? ये मतलब हम उन बच्चों का भी ख्याल रख लेंगे, उसको भी देखो inclusive. मतलब again back to that same thing that हमें awareness ही नहीं है कि inclusive education is the system to be.
Yeah.
That is what every school should be like.
Should be doing that. So we have policies on paper for inclusive education, but it hardly translates into our practices. Is that a myth, or is it something that you're witnessing?
लेकिन जो मैंने थोड़ा बहुत रिसर्च की है अराउंड द पॉलिसीज दैट एग्जिस्ट इन पाकिस्तान, वी डू हैव क्लॉजेस फॉर इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन इन आवर एजुकेशनल प्लान्स. जो हमारे एजुकेशनल डॉक्यूमेंट्स आते हैं, 5-year प्लान्स आते हैं, उसके अंदर हमारे पास क्लॉजेस हैं. वो वही लैंग्वेज है जो हमारी इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस या जो UN की क्लॉजेस हैं कि नॉन डिस्क्रिमिनेटरी क्लॉजेस हैं कि सारे बच्चों को एजुकेशन हासिल करने का राइट है 5 years to 16. वही लैंग्वेज आई थिंक आपके एजुकेशनल प्लान्स में भी ट्रांसफ़र कर दी गई है. बट हमारे पास आई थिंक कोई स्टैंड अलोन पॉलिसी नहीं है उस तरीके से. मुझे तो अभी तक फ़िलहाल आई हैव नॉट कम अक्रॉस अ स्टैंड अलोन पॉलिसी ऑन इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन. और अगर लेट्स से कहीं से कोई पॉलिसी कहीं निकल भी आती है तो आई थिंक उसकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग शायद नहीं है, इसीलिए वो चीज़ ट्रेनिंग इतनी ज़्यादा एक्सटेंसिवली और प्रोएक्टिवली उस पर अभी तक उस तरीके से नहीं हो रही।
काम नहीं
हमने
हो पा रहा।
एक सर्वे किया था टीचर्स से और हमने उनसे ये सवाल पूछा था कि हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव अटेंडेड अ ट्रेनिंग ऑन इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन और UDL और समथिंग लाइक UDL बिफोर, तो बहुत थोड़ी परसेंटेज थी जिन्होंने कुछ ना कुछ किया हुआ था या सुना हुआ था इसके बारे में।
Yeah. So some argue that practices like UDL are totally Western contextualized and cannot be reflected into Pakistani education landscape. Is that a myth? But
that is a I mean, what is UDL? UDL is just a framework, right?
Yeah.
It is just a vehicle or a tool for you to deliver whatever curriculum you want to deliver. In fact, what UDL okay, so I'll tell you what UDL is. It has 3 key principles.
All right.
The first principle is multiple means of engagement. What it says is that your children learn differently. They are motivated in different ways to learn.
Yeah.
So try to engage them in different ways. कुछ बच्चों के साथ आप गाना गाएंगे तो वो साथ गाने लग जाएंगे और that is how they will learn. कुछ के साथ आप मूवमेंट करेंगे, कुछ को आप किस मुख्तलिफ तरीक़ों से उनको इंगेज करेंगे. उसका दूसरा प्रिंसिपल है मल्टीपल वेज ऑफ प्रेजेंटिंग इंफॉर्मेशन. सो जो टीचर जो सब्जेक्ट मैटर जो कंटेंट उनको पढ़ाना चाह रही है वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ ब्लैक बोर्ड पे लिख के ना दिखाए. हाँ, एग्जैक्टली. बुक रीड भी हो सकती है, ब्लैक बोर्ड भी हो सकता है, कोई वीडियो भी दिखा सकते हैं, कोई सिमुलेशन भी कर सकते हैं. आप उनको बाहर नेचर में भी ले जा सकते हैं. अगर आप उनको फोटोसिंथेसिस सिखा रहे हैं, आप उनको एक्चुअल प्लांट्स भी दिखा सकते हैं. जरूरी नहीं है कि वो 2 डायमेंशनल पेजेस पे ही फोटोसिंथेसिस सीखें. ठीक है. और फिर तीसरा प्रिंसिपल है UDL का मल्टीपल वेज ऑफ assessment what they have learned. Different children express in different ways. They tell you differently what they have learned. They may have learned it, but जरूरी नहीं है कि वो लिख के ही वो बता सकेंगे कि अच्छा मुझे ये कॉन्सेप्ट समझ आ सके. हो सकता है कोई बोल के बता सके, हो सकता है कि कोई अपने किसी प्रेजेंटेशन से आपको बता सके. और ये चीज़ें जब मैं मास्टर्स कर रही थी तो हमें ये चॉइसेस दी गई थी. हम प्रेजेंट भी कर सकते थे, हम वीडियो भी बना सकते थे, हम ऐसे भी लिख सकते थे. सो choice is the key word here. You need to give that autonomy and that space for children to learn in different ways and express their learning in different ways. So UDL का मतलब आप उसको UDL ना कहें, आप उसको कुछ और कह दें. And I'm sure private schools को थोड़ी बहुत awareness है, and many of the private schools are trying to engage kids in multiple manner and give them, they're grouping, they're using the strategies of think, pay, share, and they might not necessarily be aware of the term UDL. This UDL एक थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा holistic framework है, in my opinion.
Yeah. And the last one is that it is a gendered myth. Okay, inclusive education जो है that secludes the concept of gender equality in a classroom. They are 2 different things. So inclusive education में हम equal gender opportunities की बात नहीं कर सकते in a classroom setup.
I think I don't know why we can't do that. I mean, I think we can completely, in fact, inclusive education says that your methods in a classroom have to be gender responsive. It says that so I'll give you an example. आपकी एक टेक्स्ट बुक है और उस पे प्रोफेशंस की बात हो रही थी और एक मेल की तस्वीर बनी हुई थी और उस पे लिखा हुआ था I am a doctor. और एक फीमेल की तस्वीर बनी हुई थी और उस पे लिखा हुआ था I am a secretary. So do you see कि so inclusive education says that you should show all the identity groups should be able to see themselves in all sorts of professions.
True.
In leadership positions. Why can a woman not be doctor?
So Rana, हम हमेशा अपनी कॉन्वर्सेशन को एक होप के थ्रू एंड करते हैं. So वो कुछ ज़्यादा ही हम जो है ना पेसिमिस्ट ना लगे.
बस cynicism भी अच्छी है.
Yeah. So I have a question कि if you are given 24 hours and you were given the opportunity to change 3 basic things in Pakistani educational landscape regarding to inclusive education, आप कौन सी चीजें change करेंगे?
24 hours में 3 तो बहुत ज़्यादा है भाई. देखिए आई वुड रियली लाइक कि हमारे मुल्क में टीचर बनने के कोई प्री रिक्विजिट्स सेट हो जाएं.
Yeah.
मतलब गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर में फिर भी है कुछ ना कुछ सिस्टम
Screening हो
है,
जाती
ठीक है.
yeah.
तो वो तो हम जाहिर सी बात है, वी हैव टू इम्प्रूव दैट, वी हैव टू गो थ्रू द गवर्नमेंट सिस्टम्स एंड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर एंड मशीनरी एंड एवरीथिंग. बट आपका एक बहुत बड़ा प्राइवेट एजुकेशन सेक्टर है, प्राइवेट सेक्टर एजुकेशन, और उसमें ये बहुत ज़्यादा बिलीफ है कि अच्छा और कुछ नहीं है तो टीचर बन जाओ. अगर करियर से कोई हाइएटस है, कोई ब्रेक है, तो चलो टीचिंग कर लो. सो एवरीबडी कैन नॉट बी अ टीचर एंड दे हैव, अगर आपने टीचर रखना है किसी को, तो आप एक चाहे छोटा सा कोई सर्टिफिकेट, कोई डिप्लोमा इंट्रोड्यूस करा दें कि जो हो तो ही बंदा एक क्लासरूम में एंटर हो सके. बिकॉज आप अपनी अपकमिंग जनरेशंस आप सौंप रहे होते हैं स्कूल को और टीचर्स को फॉर 1/3 पार्ट ऑफ द डे.
Yeah.
So that person has to, fulfill some prerequisites as a teacher.
Check
So that's
certain boxes, yeah.
check certain boxes, exactly. So that is one thing that I would really like to introduce, and I think trainings can be digitized and made available on self-paced learning basis, ताकि ये चीज़ बहुत मुश्किल भी ना हो. It is very attainable. हर स्कूल अपने पास अगर ये चीज़ सेट कर ले, तो I think quality of teaching एकदम से रेज हो जाएगा. बाकी ये है कि I think really make it mandatory for school leaders and school heads and school principals and school owners to sit in on the same trainings that their teachers sit on, so that they're on the same page. What I have seen in my experience with some of the schools is that teachers are wonderful people, and they give so much of their patience and love and time and energy to students. So you can't always blame them if they're overburdened, because they are overburdened, not just in public sector but also in private sector. बिल्कुल निचोड़ देते हैं teachers को.
Exactly.
So the school principals and the school heads need to sit in on those trainings so that they're on the same page, and they know what work teachers have to do
They need a reality
on
check,
their pedagogy, on their teaching methods to be good teachers, right? And third thing would be, I think, सोशो इमोशनल लर्निंग के ऊपर बहुत ज़्यादा फोकस. आई थिंक सोशो इमोशनल लर्निंग का एक डेडिकेटेड करिकुलम हर स्कूल में इंट्रोड्यूस हो जाना चाहिए. आई नो दैट द करंट पाकिस्तानी करिकुलम और इवन SNC, I think they've done a great job. They have introduced components within every lesson plan and within subjects that touch upon socio-emotional learning of children. But I think सोशो इमोशनल लर्निंग को डेडिकेटेडली अप्रोच करने की ज़रूरत है, बिकॉज ये चीज़ इतने अरसे तक इग्नोर हुई है, और हमारी सोसाइटी और पेरेंट कम्युनिटी की तरफ से भी बच्चों पे एकेडमिक एक्सेलेंस अचीव करने का इतना प्रेशर होता है कि उनकी सोशो इमोशनल डेवलपमेंट दब जाती है. मतलब अब शायद पेरेंट्स थोड़ा सा कंसर्न्ड होते हों कि मेरा बच्चा खुश भी है कि नहीं, बट इट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो आई थिंक SCL would have to be the third thing that I would like to change in the 24 hours that you've given me.
Choti window, yeah. So the last question of this podcast is, what is your vision for next 15 years?
I think I would like my previous answer to spill over to this one, that yes, I would like to see pre-service teacher training systemized not just in public sector but also in private sector. And I that's what I'm trying to do in my own personal capacity. What I'm trying to do is collaborate with private sector schools, with private sector organizations working in education. I would love to also somehow strike an arrangement with the federal education department, where this is somehow systemized and we can scale it. The teacher training has to be the topmost priority if we have to fix the education of this country.
Yeah.
You can that is through teacher training और teachers के through ही आप अपनी classrooms को भी inclusive बना सकते हैं, आप SEL भी achieve कर सकते हैं, सारा कुछ. So my vision is to somehow permeate in those teacher training systems and make my contribution in inclusive education. Of course, इसके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा collaboration की ज़रूरत होगी with the government, with the private sectors, और काम हो भी रहा है. Peace pedagogical methods पे भी काम हो रहा है. I am aware of people who are collaborating with the government departments and who are doing some amazing work.
Yeah.
So that's my vision, that in the next 15 years ये चीज़ हो जाए, teacher training थोड़ी ज़्यादा systemized हो जाए. और I would also like for our teachers to be given the opportunity. आपके जो motivated teachers हैं, आप उनको इंसेंटिव मिलना चाहिए टू बी मोर मोटिवेटेड, राइट? अगर आपके कोई हाई परफॉर्मिंग टीचर्स हैं और मोटिवेटेड टीचर्स हैं, वो तो उनको आप प्रमोशंस के थ्रू इंसेंटिवाइज करें, सो दे डोंट फील द बर्नआउट. उनको कोई रिवॉर्ड्स भी मिलें, आप उनको कॉन्फ्रेंसेस पे बाहर भेजें, राइट? तो उनका एक्सपोजर होगा, क्रॉस कल्चरल लर्निंग होगी, उन्हें नज़र आएगा कि बाहर कैसे टीचिंग होती है. बहुत बहुत सीखने को मिलता है व्हेन यू गेट आउट ऑफ योर ओन लिटिल एनवायरनमेंट एंड आपका दिमाग खुलता है. सो हमारे जो टीचर्स हैं, लाइक आई रियली फील फॉर देम. आई थिंक हम बहुत बात करते हैं कि एजुकेशन बुरी है, बट हम ये नहीं देखते कि हम अपने टीचर्स को किस तरीके से सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. तो आई थिंक विजन ये है कि टीचर्स are well supported in future.
Thank you so much, Rana. I hope
Thank
it
you.
opens a dialogue जो आगे जाके एक इनिशिएटिव में और एक वॉइस में कन्वर्ट हो जाए.
Inshallah.
हम डेफिनेटली आपको बार बार बुलाएंगे and we'll keep talking about it until it becomes something very normal in Pakistan. And I wish you best of luck for your initiatives, and I hope more people can contribute into your cause.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you.